Hello everyone, welcome to Canary Cast. Before we begin, do give us a like and subscribe, it does help massively, and we're here to talk about a pretty sizable bid for Ben Godfrey with Jacob and Joe. Jacob, how are you?
Yeah, not doing too bad, thanks, mate. How are you?
I watched the Newport game for Newcastle and I'm considering my existence.
I don't
Joe,
know
how
why
are
we didn't.
you?
We let Tristan Abrahams go, mate. He's the guy's top goal scorer in the Carabao Cup. We should have kept him. Would have been good for us this year.
God, you need goals. Joe, how are you?
I'm in the same boat as Daniel Farker, I think, mate. I just want this bloody transfer window closed. It's
Yeah.
but it's a new one every week, and whilst it's great that our players are being touted with these big clubs, not just in England and Europe, it is worrying for us in terms of we're running out of time to replace them and all that associated stuff.
Let's talk about who are circling. So there's been a £26 million bid which has been duly rejected by Norwich from Everton, but there is rumours that Newcastle are swirling with preparing a bid for their own, along with Fulham. Are these the sort of teams you're expecting Godfrey to go for, Jacob?
I think Everton is a fantastic move, mate, in terms of Carlo Ancelotti. I was speaking to Joe off video and thinking, how many players has Ancelotti had? Sergio Ramos, Paolo Maldini, Nesta, Varane. Is the list is
Godfrey.
endless. John Terry, like you think of the centre backs he's managed, it's incredible. Now he's with Michael Keane and Yerry Mina. I think Ben Godfrey could do a good job there, especially with three at the back. I think he'd look like a Rolls Royce, but that's a fantastic move. Newcastle, I think he could improve defensively. You guys, you know better than us, Harvey, but you do a lot of defending
Yeah,
in the
bloody hell,
games.
do we?
And
I don't. I
yeah,
think I'd rather be under Ancelotti than Steve Bruce, but
yeah.
that's just my
And
opinion.
Fulham would be a silly move. Like there's no point going to Fulham because they're coming straight back down.
Joe, what do you reckon out of those three?
I think I agree with Jacob regarding Fulham. I think they'll probably go straight back down. I think whilst Newcastle are a big club, Everton are a bigger club because like they're not guaranteed, but it's more likely that they're not going to get relegated at any point over the next few seasons. But I think what it boils down to is a choice between Scott Parker, Steve Bruce, and Carlo Ancelotti. There's only one winner there.
Steve Bruce.
Yeah, yeah, of course. No, actually, on that note, we were talking off camera, me and Jake, and saying that whilst Godfrey has a huge up potential and loads of upsides, he's not the finished article, and his defending could do with some work. And as much as I love Daniel Farker, his defensive record, well, it is poor. Our defending is not great and never has been. I'm not sure Scott Parker would improve that. I do think Steve Bruce would, but not to the extent that Carlo Ancelotti would improve his game. I think Steve Bruce would probably make him a better defender, but Carlo Ancelotti will make him a better and more rounded footballer, as well as improving the defensive aspect of his game.
Given all the rumours of the club circling for Ben Godfrey, are you as shocked as I am that Manchester United haven't made a move for him with Rio in the mix?
I'm sure he's been touting them a long time. They're always, come on, Ollie, mate, give him a go, or getting up on Ed Woodward's side. I don't think they have the money at the moment, mate. You look at kind of the deals they're trying to do. It's either Sancho, Ousmane Dembele, or nothing. I don't think they have much other spare money with the whole COVID thing. And, well, their finances are well known for kind of, I know they're a huge club, but their finances aren't the best, are they? Especially with old COVID. I think he'd be fantastic for them in the long run. I think he'd be a better defender than Lindelof and Bailly and, well, Phil Jones. Can't believe I said that name. I think he would be a good move for them in the long term, but they're probably looking at more kind of people who are coming ready now. I don't think Ben Godfrey's near that level. That's why I think Everton would be a fantastic move for him, just because it's a big club looking upwards with ambition, with a world-class coach. I think, yeah, he would. I think Carlo Ancelotti's a much better manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So I think Everton's actually a better move than Man U.
And to move to a team which are, I think, as it stands, top of the league. So
yeah,
that would be a hell of a move for Ben Godfrey. The one thing that a lot of fans have sort of got up about is the fee being rejected at such a substantial figure. £26 million is a lot of money, and a lot more than Jamal Lewis, who was the only real marquee leaving. 26 millions. Would you have said no to 26 million, Joe?
Yeah, absolutely. Ben Godfrey, whilst he hasn't hit his ceiling yet, there's an awful lot of potential there, but he's got all the tools. He's quick, he's strong, he can pass, he's decent in the air. He is sort of a leader before his time. He is vocal. I wouldn't say he's one of our leaders, but he is vocal presence on the pitch. He's got all the tools to be a really successful player. Like he can even play on the left side of defence. He's not left-footed, but we know he's comfortable there. And players that can do all of those things come at a premium. I know he doesn't want to play as a defensive midfielder, but he could do that if his new manager or Daniel Farker at any point fancies doing it. He's a versatile player. He's got all the right tools to probably reach international level of football at the top end. And those players come at a premium. Like we could sell him for 26 million now, but if he's playing for England in 4 or 5 years and playing sort of a top 6 Premier League club, he's going to be worth an awful lot more. And I think Stuart Webber's right to hang on for as long as he can and push the price as high as he can.
What would you accept?
I think at the moment he's probably worth just shy of 30 million, but he's got the potential to be worth sort of 40 to 45 million, really. I mean, the fees for players at the moment are down slightly because of COVID, but if this was normal, I do think we'd be receiving higher bids, to be honest with you. If we were to accept a bid in this window, I think I would accept 30 rising to 35 as a minimum.
No, Jacob does not agree.
No, I think that you're talking like Harvey. I think we were saying again off video that 26 million is a hell of a lot of money. You've got to look at it like that in terms of a team that conceded 75 goals last season. For a centre back to be wanted for 26 million, I know it's 20 plus 6 add-ons, which probably will still get the 26. But then I do agree with Joe on the side of, look, he's England under 21 centre back. I believe he's been captain there before as well. They're obviously looking at him in the long term and thinking he could potentially make that move. English is a premium price. You're always going to pay more. He is good with the ball at his feet. I think he's got a lot of work to do defensively. The amount of times a cross came in last season and an intelligent Premier League striker got the better of him and kind of was left open. You're like, how on earth that happened? It's just he's not reading the game properly. But then again, he has only played realistically a season and a half at centre-back. I think he's made actually leaps and bounds, really, in terms of from CDM kind of destructor at Shrewsbury to come in at a centre-back role in a championship promotion campaign. And then I think he held his own at times last season. I think also at times he had a lot of learning. I remember the Iheanacho goal famously that was ruled out. He got absolutely mugged off by him, by a player who is, I wouldn't say real Premier League class. I'd say Iheanacho is a fine player, but not anything better than that. I would say 30 million plus 5 is a hell of a lot of money, and I would take that. I think the only thing you've got to look at is if Everton don't come back and Norwich do have a poor season, which is potential, has a big potential. What is his price in January next season with a year less on his contract? Him obviously will be stating to leave at that point if we're still in the Championship. And we could be known as a mid-table Championship club by then. How much does he go for? It could be a lot less, but we'll wait and see. I think he'll go. I'd be surprised if he stays.
We would, of course, be losing a homegrown player, and I think purely for that, it's worth adding some more money to, like just chuck a few more million on top of it because he's homegrown, and it creates a problem for Norwich, him not being here. So I think we should just hold firm. You know, if they want him that badly, they'll pay him. And yeah, all right, you might get a bit annoyed, but he's free to leave in January if it doesn't look like we're going up to the Premier League. So same as everyone else who's been linked, really. I would hope that they hold fire and wait until January. But if the money comes in, he will of course go.
I think with Everton as well, like they do actually spend the money, so it's not like it's not a Manchester United tax, but you do know that they have the money there to be like you look at the money they spent on Doucouré, Allen, James Rodriguez was free, but still big wages. Like they've got money there to spend. So I would say that if you hold out for 30 million plus 5 add-ons, I think it will end slightly below 30. I can see a 27, 28 bid being accepted. But I think that's incredible business. And to be fair, we do have to hold out for a little bit more simply because York City have a 10% sell-on fee. So
they'll be delighted.
Oh,
That's
100%.
huge.
Like,
Wow.
yeah, the level they're at, and considering the COVID and no fans, no games at the moment, that could save their club, which would be brilliant, really.
Would.
So let's now turn to the possible Everton, Newcastle, and Fulham fans watching this video. What sort of player are they going to get if a bid is accepted?
I think this is a centre back who has all the potential, like Joe was saying, to reach potential international level. He's quick, very quick. He said himself, infamously, I would say, that he has not come up against a striker who's quicker than him. I would argue that he doesn't use his frame well enough at times. He's a big lad for what's only a 6'2". In terms of his frame, he's got the physical attributes. I don't think he uses that well enough at times. He's rash at times. We saw the Callum Wilson red card, where he just did not need to make that challenge when we beat Bournemouth 1-0. But to be fair to him, he could only improve under a manager of Carlo Ancelotti. I'm putting this to Everton fans mainly because I don't really see him going anywhere else. I know other clubs are linked, but that's surely got to be the creme de la creme in those three. So I think in a free centre backs, he would be an absolute Rolls Royce. I think he'd be easily able to come out into midfield and play the passes comfortably. If you look at some of Norwich's goals last season, his diagonal passes, when he's got time, are terrific. I'd say to Everton fans, look at the goal we scored at home to Leicester. The ball he puts to Max Aarons is wonderful, and he is capable of doing that on multiple occasions. I think he would be a big miss. I think Daniel Farke puts him in, arguably, along with Tim Krul, as his first choice player in that team, simply because of the way we play. Playing out from the back, there's no one better in our team in those defensive units that is better than Ben Godfrey, simply. Improvements, like I said, from crosses, I don't think he's the best in the air for his height and his physicality. I think he gets beaten a little bit too easily at times. And if there's a header flicked on and a man running in behind Ben Godfrey, he struggles a lot with that. I think that's, again, something he needs to work on. His turning is not good for a player, again, who has got the pace to be able to get back quick enough. So only little bits that he needs to improve on. But for 30 million, which you could say is a lot of money for us, maybe not for Everton in the long term, with future players they invest in, I think it's a bargain, really.
Anything to add to that one, Joe? I think that was pretty thorough.
No, that was spot on. I'll echo the sentence about his turning circle, and he does not track his man that well at times, especially on set pieces. They are the main things he needs to work on. But no, spot on from Jacob. He's a complete player. He's a flexible player, and he would be an addition to any three of those teams.
For a player who's only played a season and a half centre back, I know I said it earlier, he's actually been, you've got to look at it and say, incredible, because the way he just seamlessly fitted in when we went up. And there was a lot of pressure on him. You know, Tim Close was playing well before he got injured. And then to come into a Premier League, which at times, yes, we conceded silly goals. I wouldn't say that was many down to him, really. We play such a high line and our fullbacks go so far forward that, to be fair, he's targeted a lot. He's far too good for the Championship. He's Premier League ready. I was looking at Everton being linked with Fikayo Tomori. I'd much prefer Ben Godfrey on permanent than try and improve Fikayo Tomori on loan and get him going back to Chelsea. I think that Ben Godfrey is definitely a better deal for Everton there.
Well, excellent stuff. And I think that's a pretty thorough explanation of what sort of player they're getting. But if you've enjoyed this video, obviously give us a like, a subscribe, and we'll probably be back throughout the week because there'll be another 25 Norwich rumours for all of our core players. So until then,
Fenerbahce.
Yeah,
It's coming soon.
I'm not doing a video on that. Barely a rumour. I could just make that up. Anyway,
it's not happening.
It's not happening. Here's your Buendia exclusive. He's not going at Fenerbahce. Anyway, if you enjoyed that video, like and subscribe. And until next time, have a good one.
Laters.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, just a quick one. Canary have teamed up with FansBet, the bookmaker that is made by the fans for you, the fans. We are able to offer you an introductory offer whereby FansBet will boost your deposit by 50% up to the value of £100. To use this offer, click the link in the description below.